What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and this is Only Murders in the Building, Season 4, Episode 3. That's a recap. Uh, and this is on Hulu with audio description. So, for my blind fans, I've got a purple hat on backwards and a Toon Squad shirt on today. So, very not appropriate for this show at all, but we're going to talk about Only Murders in the Building and what happened. Well, our main trio was reunited with their Hollywood counterparts for the episode. So in come Eugene Levy, Zach Galifianakis, and Eva Longoria as themselves, walking back into, or at least as versions of themselves for the show. But I mean, they're using their real names. So they all come back into this, and they have very interesting takes on each one of their characters, and they spend time sort of like trying to learn with each one. So as they're still trying to investigate Zaz's murder, and the detective that has been around, I forget her name, she was in a previous season, she comes in and she basically data dumps and then leaves. She's just like, this is where we're at. I like you guys. The FBI has taken over, oh, well, the feds. Okay, well, so local police officers giving her knowledge to the podcasters before this. Yes, I agree. So she's mentioning that if they want to solve the murder, it's going to be on them because the feds think it's Jen, and she doesn't think it's Jen. They don't think it's Jan, and it's not Jan. Let's just be honest. As she points out, the timeline doesn't even line up because she was still in jail at the time and then broke out after, and then she's like, well, the feds think that maybe she hired somebody, and it's like, really, to do what? And then she rushed over there to, no, come on. So, I mean, it would be a full circle moment for the series if this wanted to be their final season, that their first and last killer are the same killer, but I guess in some weird way. I'm not even sure we've seen the killer. Like, I keep seeing them introduce these characters, but I'm not even fully sure that we have seen the character. If we have, it's one of the ones that we left behind in Hollywood, like the writer, maybe, or something. But they're being very shady about who this missing neighbor is, and their face was crossed off in a photo, you know, and they're using the ham radios a lot in this. Everyone's got a ham radio. That in and of itself is suspicious. Why do neighbors all have ham radio? Just talk to you. Like, you guys live next door to each other. Just talk to each other. Why did you all go buy ham radios? Like, what? This is so weird. Such a weird show. But I guess the funny part of it is seeing each actor gets sort of split up, so they end up working with their famous counterpart. So, you end up seeing Mabel with Eva Longoria. Charles is with Eugene Levy. And Zach Galifianakis could not be less bothered than to hang out with Oliver. He's just so, he doesn't see anything in Oliver. And that's becomes what the whole thing. Oliver's like, well, I have to convince him of my greatness. And it's not until like the final moments when somebody else does it for him in the most degrading way possible that Zach Galifianakis is like, I see it now. I will make you a legend. That was interesting. But I don't know, like, did we grow? What did we learn? Well, we learned that Bing Bong definitely has pink eye. So that was one thing that happened. And he can punch. He can throw a punch, which is not something I would have guessed that actor was able to do. But was throw a good punch, but he knocked Eugene Levy for that spit take. But they went over there and tried to see whether or not, because they were like, oh, well, maybe it was the recoil from a sniper rifle. It gave him a black eye, you know. There's something that's said that they kind of bring up that's right, which is if they thought it was Charles and they were looking through a sniper rifle, then it's somebody who can shoot well but also has poor vision. That's what I'm looking for now, is somebody who has poor vision, because it's somebody who would have mistaken Zaz dressed up as Charles, you know, or somebody, or the person is a hired hitman who doesn't know what Charles looks like and was given a basic description of Charles and didn't notice the difference. But there's something to be said for that, because with a sniper rifle, which is what they were using, you would be able to scope in. So I think they started to hit on it a little bit, and they casually kind of mentioned that in one of, but it's left. It just kind of like flitters out of the wind, you know. It's gone. Anyway, that was, to me, I thought that was the most interesting thing, was when somebody casually mentioned, like, well, they obviously couldn't see well because they, you know, yeah, I don't think they could, because when you have a thing that the whole purpose of it is a zoom factor. Like, you can zoom with a rifle like that usually, and you still can't tell, then your initial vision would be bad. Like, I wouldn't be able to, even if I was Chris Kyle, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be able to tell who my target was. So even if I had the steadiness of Chris Kyle, to be able to get that bullet through, I would have no idea what I was shooting at. So I think there's something to be said for that. So lean into that. They're leaning into people who know who they are. They're leaning into people who can see well, and maybe this person can't. Maybe their shooter can't. So this is why I don't think we've seen them yet. So there you go. That's my new theory, is I don't think we've been introduced to. We're only in episode 3. So we've got like 7 more episodes to be introduced to somebody. So yeah. But Eva Longoria, we finally found Christmas guy. It's Kumail Nanjiani, and he's a fitness influencer who got trapped into being Christmas guy because the one video that went viral of his was him doing a Christmas workout video, and now all that his fans want is Christmas content. So I mean, that's one way to go, dude, but at the same time, I would, if I did that for my channel, I don't know what, like, my top 2 videos are like the rant I had of Chris Stuckman, and then a review of my review on Ghostbusters Afterlife. So what am I just gonna keep doing? Bitching about Chris Stuckman and bitching about Ghostbusters Afterlife, not Frozen Empire, the whole time? Like, you don't, just because you have one video that pops doesn't mean, you know, like, maybe become the holiday guy who does other holidays. Maybe have like a Halloween video or like an Easter, you know. I mean, there's a happy middle to that. You don't have to only do Christmas. But I love that that, like, that's his backstory and why he has that. So yeah, it's fun. Lots of name dropping. They said Michelle Obama twice, like they're trying to invoke her or something, like she's Beetlejuice. So plot twist: if Michelle Obama is the killer in season 4, that would be amazing. So if she comes in, if she's the guest star in season 4, and she's like, "It's me. I live in that apartment." But I don't know. We haven't seen the killer, but this is fun. It's we didn't really learn that much. The end of the episode is just that the other family that they didn't go to is on the ham radio, and it's like, the last person who asked those questions is dead. Leave it alone. And I'm like, oh, whatever. Okay, you didn't say anything we didn't know. Thank you for repeating information. I thought it was weird that she immediately turns on the ham radio and she's like, hello, hello, is anyone there? I was like, don't you just want to listen first and see whether or not maybe there's a conversation happening? That was like, that would be my note to the directors slash writers is I feel like Mabel's too smart for that. And that was kind of like the dumb choice is that she immediately turns on the ham radio and she's like in it. She like, it could be possibly interrupting a conversation. You know, like she could be in the middle. They could already be on the ham radio talking and being like, our next victim, this is how we're going to kill Oliver now. We're going to go after him by blah, blah, blah. And you could pick up really interesting information just by just waiting a second and seeing, like, are they already talking? Maybe find that out first. And then when you find out it's silent, then jump on it and see if you can get anybody through that frequency. She didn't even wait. Yeah, Only Murders. I'm going to give season 4, episode 3 an A minus. It was mostly fun, but I'm loving what Eugene, Eva, and Zach are putting out. The vibes are really fun. These versions of themselves. I love that because they're kind of poking fun at themselves a little bit, but also just they are bringing something fresh to the show, and I would love to see Only Murders in the Building with them. Like I hope that's a thing that we get to see is their version of it at some point. What does that look like? You know, it's just like a bottle episode of this is what they shot. This is the movie. So yeah. That's it. I'll be back next week with more Murders in the Building. I actually don't think we've seen the killer, just like we didn't see Kumail Nanjiani until this episode. At least not really. I mean, like, not like introduced to him anyway. But yeah, see you guys on the other side.